Straight up.
I'm going to call the meeting to order, regular meeting of the Easton Housing Authority, Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. Roll call, Commissioner Chrisanne Sheedy,
Here.
Commissioner Tebow,
Here.
Commissioner Burrows,
Yeah.
and Commissioner Paquin is absent tonight, and Commissioner Dennis Sheedy is present. Agenda item number 1, public hearing of the annual plan and capital improvement plan for fiscal year 2026-2027. Presented by ECAT, Joseph Heidenberg.
See the B part.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
I'll
There
start
are
by-
folks behind us, so I don't know if they want to angle.
Sure, yeah, I can go to the side. How's everybody doing? You want to see a copy of the plan? I have one extra one here. Would you like to read it? No problem. I'll start by addressing the elephant in the room as to why there's no spending in 28, 29, and 30. That was UHLC transitioning to a different program to work on their capital improvement plans and decided to not give us any cap share in those 3 years. So if I put projects in, it would have kicked me out and been able to process the plan. So we're pretty much got a pretty quick discussion here about, we have 3 projects. The one on the very bottom is actually the AIP, or Aging in Place, that's designed to take care of improvements within vacant units that are geared towards helping people as they get older, whether it be tub cuts or grab handles in showers, anything related to keeping somebody comfortable in their dwelling as they age. That's already got a fish number, which is 088, 089. And the 3 projects we're looking at adding to this coming plan would be sewer stack reaming in Lee Circle 6671. Dan had mentioned to me that there was some concern with the drains there, and that was one of the remedies, which would be to ream these sewer stacks from the top down. So we built a project for it to address them all at one time. The next would be new windows for the same development, Lee Circle 6671. From what I understand, those windows are quite old, and parts are getting very difficult to come by, and they're not very cost effective to keep repairing the windows, so that we're going to replace them with something better. And then we're looking at fire alarm device replacement, 6671 and 3A. That's just expired devices needing to be replaced. And that's pretty much all we have. Did anybody have any questions for me as far as any of the other projects that we're either in the process of or adding?
Yeah, Joe, we just finished deciding on the 10 units here. There's still 5 units left. There's 3 here and 2 in a Lee Circle. And if my math is right, they're about 42 years old since that siding was gone on. And I was wondering if it's going to show up on the radar somewhere.
It's actually
in the future.
It's actually on the radar. Had I had money to spend according to the plan in 28, 29, and 30, we do already have a project built for that.
Okay.
So that once this all comes back around and we get back into the new system where we're building, where we're taking care of designing these plans and allocating the funding, that will show up.
But it's
So-
listed,
so
isn't
we-
it 080? Isn't it the same?
080, that's siding and window replacement.
That was here.
Oh, that was here.
That was here.
We have another project there to address any buildings that have not been addressed at this point.
Does that include windows and siding, that type of, the same,
Well,
pretty much the same as what you did?
Generally, yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
No problem.
I'm kind of curious about the Federal Pacific Piano project.
I wish I had Kathy probably give you some better insight than I could on that, because I'm not involved directly with that project myself. The UHLC is managing that one, but I know that there's been some difficulties with
There's been a lot of difficulties with that. One of the architects up at UHLC was fighting with the architect assigned to the project, the house doctor, about wanting to start the piano or give it a try run, and that electrician is indicating that would be a bad idea, because if it goes, that's going to be an immediate. They don't want them to freeze up So long story short, the architect for EOHLC, I don't believe is there, Mr. Bossi, or reviewing it anymore.
He was.
He
I
was.
know he's retired and he might come back out of retirement.
Well, he'd come back when this, right now they're looking for GCG to do, no, Jim Murphy to do, John Murphy, the 100% CD submission on that. So it looks like just last week we might get some movement on it now. But it was a battle between the two architects, or the engineer and the architect.
Well, there is movement.
Yes.
That's good to
Yes,
see.
it's been,
Because I think that's been sitting there for a while.
yes, it certainly has, 3 years, I want to say.
And I'll ask a question for Barbara. The sidewalk job, the one is going to go forward?
Great.
We actually added both developments here, 6671 and 2, combined the two, got a $609,000 paving award from UHLC,
Excellent.
and now that's about almost a 1.22 million project. And it's moving forward. I met with the UHLC architect. I had already hired an architect to take care of just the front sidewalk, and they brought him on board with this project and combined everything together. Better use of funding, benefit from the economy of scale, with the architecture and design fees and such. And now we're going to address both developments. They've already got drawings up. The schematic design was due a couple weeks ago, but because of the nature of the project, they're not going to start it until the spring start. And the architect that we're utilizing for this he's on the ball, so he'll get it in for us.
It's GCG, isn't it?
Yeah.
Licata?
Yep.
Is that the same work order or job?
Well, see, I wrote the original work order, but then when UHLC decided to give us that funding and combine the two projects,
So,
or three projects actually, they took my work order and had to make their own using mine and combining the information from the rest of the developments we're adding. And that's already been submitted. We get the architect on board. His fee's already been established, and like I said, schematic design was due, I think, it was about 2 weeks ago. And he hasn't submitted it yet, but I know he's got all the drawings, and Mike's
So it's
very,
gonna
very,
be-
very busy.
It's going to be down to one fish number. Or whatever you
Yeah,
call it.
they took the three projects that were involved and combined that under the 088, what is it,
84.
084.
Even though it says sidewalk, it's going to be complete paving.
It says 1,181,000. Right now it's at about 1,220 according to the capital.
Okay.
And,
Thank you.
and 609,000 of that is being covered by above and beyond your capital funding. So you get pretty much split it from half, a little less than half. But that project is going to be moving forward this spring.
Thank you.
So that's got to go out to bid, not
Yeah,
too long from now.
Well, it's because we have to get schematic design done, 100% CDs, and then they'll put together a bidding schedule, put it out to bid, and hopefully we'll get that rolling in the spring. Exactly what month I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. I don't know. I'm not involved directly with it from the side of the project, but I've been told it's going to be starting up this spring. Whereas however you define spring, March, April, May, in that ballpark. Yeah, maybe November next year. No, I think things can happen sometimes, but we've been pretty forward with our desire to get this project done.
So GCG's sitting on the schematics at the moment.
I don't even think he's sitting on it. I just don't think he realizes that they're due at this moment because we're not going to be going out to bid until the spring. And knowing Mike, he's probably already got 100% CDs almost there, and then he's going to make his adjustments from getting his review memo on the
Who's the engineer up at the state?
Van Ock Center.
Yeah, the guy's got his, he came
Yeah,
up,
I
Yeah.
met
he
him
seems on the ball too.
I remember.
Yeah.
out here 14 months ago.
Yeah, yes, but he seemed to really take an interest and know what he was talking about when he came out.
He was the one that mentioned the paving award too.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware that the
Yeah.
funding was available.
He mentioned it before we even knew that it had come out.
Yeah. And they've already given us the approved 609,000 for it, so.
Very good news. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, so we're moving along. I mean, I wish I had more to talk about, but things are moving along pretty well here.
Well, somebody's going to be given, kind of asking where things are falling. Somebody's going to be poking along on this so that things don't sit.
Yes, what I do,
Thank you.
what I try to do is once a week, even if I'm not on the project, I always kind of sit in the background and check, see where things are, see if anything's, if I see somebody starting to fall behind on their review memos or their review of any given work, I'll
Okay,
On behalf of the authority, you know, because they don't like us sticking our nose into the larger projects if we're not directly involved. And you know how it is, sometimes too many chefs spoil the stew, you know? So you kind of...
yeah, I've learned that squeaky wheel gets the oil in this business.
That as well, that's why I do it. So,
So we're just on the 28, 29, and 30, the transition to Cap Hub, is that what that is?
honestly, I wish I had the acronym down, there's so many different acronyms. CHART, C-H-A-R-T, I don't know exactly what that stands for.
Chart?
It's a new program that we're going to be working on our capital plans in.
Okay, and, you know, I mean, it is going to be going, it's not like one of these that's going to be going and it'll finally kick in 2030.
Well, as far as I've been told, I'll be getting a training on that in the upcoming week or two.
Okay, good.
And for all the June authorities, which is the largest group, which probably isn't the best time to introduce new software, but, you know, we do what we can.
You know, so it's a plan.
Well,
It exists, but it doesn't exist here.
well,
This
you
is
got
what
to
we
figure,
usually-
they ask us for a 5-year rolling plan.
Right.
But if you don't give us spending in 3 of the 5 years, how we
Yeah.
can plan, you know? And even at that rate, when we do plan, it takes some time to get through the approval process, and depending upon when your fiscal year is, sometimes you might, I've had plans where I've gotten into the next fiscal year before the previous fiscal year was just barely approved. So at that point, you've addressed everything you can address, and at some point, you might realize that you were overspent or underspent, or because you don't know what you can give them to spend until you get the approval, you know? But we do the best we can with the information that we're given.
So what's the forecast for these columns getting completed?
I'm not sure how they're going to go about having us address the authorities as of right now that don't have the spending there, but there's got to be something. I mean, we're required to provide a 5-year rolling plan. If they don't want us to give a 5-year plan, well, then they'll keep doing what they're doing. But if they want to see what we're planning for the other 3 years, I've already got the projects planned. It's just a matter of putting them in place.
There's a lot of concern at Mass Narrow that the bond money isn't getting spent.
Well, there's been a lot of questions that have been
Always.
dictated or have been asked rather, and they've gotten a lot of different answers as far as why sometimes they'll put a project up, put a fish number on it, but there's no funding. Other times they'll give you a fish number for a project, say for 27, and put money on it, but you still got projects that are in 25 and 26 that aren't funded yet. So you got to lobby for those funds, and I don't understand the way they make decisions sometimes, but I got to work with what I'm given, and I can ask for what I need. And sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't, you know, but we do the best we can.
Any other questions?
And I will say that this authority is in very good shape from a capital planning standpoint, from a funding standpoint. The formula funding that we have available is plentiful, and that in case an emergency were to come up, we have some money that we can go. These will look good.
Yep, they are.
Were there any questions or comments on the annual plan
No, nothing was
component
submitted.
of this? Is there anything you'd like to bring out about the annual plan that is different, or basically it's...
No, went well. Again, the findings were on the board certifications, which we still can't get an answer on.
I'll make a motion to approve the annual plan and CIP for fiscal year 2026-27.
Second.
Second.
Okay, sorry.
We have a
That's okay.
motion by Commissioner Tebow, a second by Commissioner Burrows. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for coming
Joe.
out on this cold night.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Agenda item number 2, the November warrant in the amount of $272,374.78.
I will make a motion that we approve the November warrants in the amount of $272,000, $272,374.78.
I'll
That was a
second that.
mouthful.
You got through it.
I did. Took me a minute.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Happy
Good night, Joe.
holidays.
Any questions or concerns regarding the warrant, the November warrant?
I was just looking at the 3 checks you still have to issue for half. I don't know,
One's utility.
okay,
Usually one's a utility check, and then there's 2 landlords that just haven't ACH for whatever. It could be a new landlord and they haven't set it up yet.
okay, so most of them do get on the system.
Oh, yes, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I
Yep.
thought they were required to, so.
Well, we try to require them to. The utility we can't, though. We have to send it in based on the account number of the participant.
Right.
Why wouldn't they get
Yep.
on board?
Just a curiosity on, we use McCrighton Associates for the Section 8 inspections.
Correct.
Is that the same that Taunton uses?
They do now. They didn't used to.
Oh, so they've jumped over to.
They've jumped over to them
Okay.
because they were using Fodder, I think, and they weren't happy with them. Or I can't remember the name of the agency.
Okay.
Any other questions or concerns regarding the November warrant? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That is unanimous. Agenda item number 3, the financial statements for October 2025.
Joe already told us the finances were good, he's looking at your money.
I will make a motion that we receive and place on file the financial statements for October 2025.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Christian Sheedy, a second by Commissioner Burrows. Any discussion? Anything you'd like to point out to us, Kathy?
Not at this time. Everything's pretty much where we were last meeting a couple of weeks back. The only thing that came out that's not on here yet, but to be cognizant of, is when we did the new sander on the new truck, it came out to about $4,500. Existing sander, but all the new mechanisms to hook it up. We weren't anticipating it being quite that high. So, but that's not on this right now, so I don't know if that would be under extraordinary or if I'll put it under the truck. Next one.
On the Section 8, I loved the 32 cents under the reserves.
Oh, yeah.
Like, can't we just clear that somehow?
Substitute shortfall.
I know. It's like, wow, that just is ridiculous.
And the automatic doors that you see under the extraordinary maintenance,
Yeah, I saw that.
all of those I am billing back to that aging in place award. So I create the invoice, put it in, so that's, we're getting all that back
Excellent.
under that line.
Water treatment plant rehab, is that finished?
Yes, that big, the 20,000,
28 was it
Yeah.
budgeted, but it
Yes.
cost 31.
yep.
So it did, okay, so it's finished, so there won't be any additional
Well,
costs exceeding
it's,
the budget.
everything's going up with that. The coagulant's going up, the methanol is gonna be used more, the chemicals are starting to go up again.
But the actual
Yeah.
rehab of the
Mhm.
facility,
Right, to keep it from failing, yes. To
Okay.
replace the parts that they were worried that were going to be outdated.
and then the tenant receivables seems a little high.
Yep, we just did the write-off last month, you'll see that next month.
What was that for? Of course I can't remember.
9,000, well, just one time in the loan, it was like 5,000, just a little over $5,000. It was an eviction because it took us that long. And then the movers,
Okay.
and then we had another eviction also in January. So,
This is going to the tenant's account receivable.
hmm?
The mover's going to the tenant account receivable?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, but the rental, if they own.
Okay. Yeah,
So
the
movers are
rents I
in there.
get.
The movers are under the extraordinary.
Okay.
Yeah. But you'll see that go down next month because he found just allocated it. Last week, I think.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments on the financial statements? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. Agenda item number 4, Section 8 payment standards effective January 1st, 2026 for approval.
The way Taunton did is they put every payment standard for every town that we administer a Section 8. They would ask that the board approve it all at once so they don't have to keep going out and getting them for each recertification of a tenant. So you can see which ones are small area FMR, and just the FMR and the payment standard towns are listed in the blue at the bottom. Easton, Southeastern, they did it 105%, and Northeastern at 110%. And you can see, they gave me a printout too of all other towns if you're interested in what other towns did. Nobody was over 110, some were 100, most are 105% of the payment standards based on the small area FMI.
So we don't have to read this individually.
Yeah, I wouldn't have to read the whole as, I would do it as presented and I can put it on the public bulletin boards out front and we can put it on the website as well.
Just think, obviously, I'm a bit familiar with Brockton. The Brockton number where it doesn't have S, so we do have small area fair market rents. That's 02302. Like, the other one doesn't have a zip code and it's substantially lower. I don't know what that's about.
I don't know what that zip code is either. They would have got this from what was released from HUD. So I don't know. I can ask them on that. I don't. How many zip codes does Brockton have?
It's the 02330. It has more than that, but the other ones are post office boxes. But 02301 is actually higher than 02302.
01 is this side of the railroad tracks, and 2 is
East side.
east side of the railroad tracks.
Who prepared this, do you know?
Taunton prepared it for us.
But they usually have someone go and do a statistical, well, no, they go, well, do.
And they work off of what HUD released, is my understanding.
I was surprised that Southeastern was a lot more expensive than Northeastern.
There's more units inside.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
That's what I've been told. And that's what we've witnessed in the past. Yeah, Brockton, they did them both at 110%.
Yeah.
The FMR.
Again, it does have the small area fair market rent, which is higher. The other one, it does just fair market rent.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's published by HUD. I don't know why they don't have one for, but that's fine. They have to show that the rents that they're approving are reasonable.
Correct. Yeah, oh yes, absolutely. And that they do.
But
So, go ahead.
That's my only question. I mean, I don't have a problem approving them this evening, but I do think they should take a look at it because in the end, they're going to be responsible for
Okay.
the accuracy of it. Or we will be responsible for it.
So you think it's 02301?
It doesn't say, but it just, I could not explain this to you for Brockton, and I can explain Brockton. I said,
Okay. How many zip codes total does Brockton have?
2 that we use for small area fair market rents.
Okay. And would they be the same amount, do you know?
No, they're slightly different.
Okay. I can look into that and get back to you, Tony.
They're slightly different. This is
Yep.
this is large. This is a big difference.
So should we hold off on approving this? It's subject to change.
When does it become effective?
January 1st.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind approving it. They should double check on it. I know when we've been audited, they really don't care. We've had board approved numbers given to us from other housing authorities, and they said, well, we really don't care.
They wanna see the-
That other board made a mistake. You need to, because you were doing the calculation, you need to
Be sure.
be sure.
Yep. And they always run rent reasonable and so on,
Yeah.
whenever they're doing,
But we were a little dumbfounded when it happened. We
Yeah.
said, look, here it is, they faxed the stuff over to us, here's what their board approved, and I said, yeah, they were using
Okay.
old payment standards.
Yep. It's tough.
Yeah. it's
The way they
horrible.
make it, it's almost impossible to get it right all the time.
It's a horrible
I mean,
program.
when we did several CMAPs, we used to have to pull payment standards for 40 different towns and present all 40 separate payment standard with the CMAP, and it was a nightmare. This is a little bit easier. So
Yeah.
here it is, this is what was approved.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that Springfield and Taunton and Fall River have one zip code.
Or they might just use the entire political
Yeah, they just
subdivision.
averaged it.
And so Southeastern, they have small area fair market rent.
And North,
In North,
yep.
is that something we've approved?
Yes, we've always, I put our previous year behind that. For,
Okay.
we've always done that.
Okay, great, thank you.
So I will make a motion that we accept the Easton Housing Authority payment standards as presented, effective for January 1, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Christian Sheedy, a second by Commissioner Burrows. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? That is unanimous. Agenda item number 5, property insurance participation agreement. For approval.
I'll make a motion that we get insured.
Like we have a choice.
This is brand new.
I know.
Never,
They're going
ever.
to-
There's a side story to this. I get the bill, I'm looking at the bill thinking, why did our property insurance go down by a few $100s? And I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at it. They only have us as 9 family units. So I emailed the property insurance company and said, I'm missing a unit. They said, well, you need to reach out to Sarah O'Leary. I reach out to Sarah O'Leary, she gets back to me and says, well, you need to check your CPS information because we have you as 9. And I said to her, well, it's really kind of funny because the past few years you've had me at 10, so I don't know what you did with my other unit, but we still have it. She's like, let me get back to you on this, and I haven't heard anything. So I haven't paid
Is
the
it
bill.
anything to do with Quantico?
Yeah, but that was how many years
I
ago?
know, but,
Eisenhower was on last year, but this year it's miraculously disappeared.
well, they
Maybe
changed
it's
all
with
their
the-
systems, aren't
Maybe
they?
it's with our funding and the CPS.
Yeah, somewhere in the chat.
Yeah, Abington's was right, Brockton's was wrong.
Okay, okay. So what bill are you paying? Because we were supposed to pay at the end of November, even though we just got the bill.
Yeah, no, I said pay it by, yeah,
December 16th,
16.
isn't it? Yeah.
But I understand this just lets us know that we are insured, I guess, under this mandatory insurance.
You have to sign, he's asked us to sign that, yeah.
Did anybody second yet?
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Who made the motion?
I did.
Tom?
We have a motion by Commissioner Tebow, a second by Commissioner Christian Sheedy. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. Just going back, taking a quick look at those fair market rents. I just did the flat rents in Brockton, and the one with no zip code, those appear to be right.
So the other one seems low.
Yeah.
I think that. But which one? The one with no zip code, is that the higher one?
That's the lower one.
Okay. All right. It may be right. It's very complicated
Mhm.
when you go from standard
Yeah.
to small to regular. So
It's crazy how they do it.
Okay. Agenda item number 6, Executive Director Search for discussion and approval. So we got 2 proposals, right? One from Mass Narrow and one from Pat Grace.
Yes. Obviously, Mass Narrows is less. Full disclosure, Tom and I are on the board of Mass Narrow. If we so choose to go forward with them, but we have nothing to do other than
We
serve.
have unpaid board members
Yes.
with no financial interest in Mass Narrow.
But in comparison, there are a few things. I looked it over, compared it to Pat Grace's. So there were some things I would like to get some clarification on and change. I don't know. We definitely want to go with a search company.
Yeah, I think we have to.
Okay. So then,
If I could, I've reviewed them. As you said, Mass Narrow was less expensive. Mass Narrow, one of the things that on the other proposal, the availability is based upon one person. If that person's not available, it stops. They were not available even through this period for a time that would worry me. We are all hoping it's a very smooth process, but we know that it can be not smooth.
correct.
And so that caused me to lean, the price and that issue caused me to lean towards Mass Narrow.
I do know that another authority that was faced with the same 2 proposals found a mistake on Mass Narrow's proposal about the wrong public housing notice to be the most current one. So I would like to see that corrected. It should be PHN 2021-03, not 2017-21. It does say that they propose draft letters to be sent to unsuccessful applicants. Does not say if they do that or they're going to give us a letter and expect us to do that. So I'd like some clarification on that. It says that they have additional services that are available. I'd like to know what they are. I'm trying to figure out what that would include. And then Pat Grace's proposal talks about if it has to go back out, be reopened, have a second run, the cost for that. And I kind of think I would like to see if Mass Narrow would commit to a similar type of clause so that we would know, and it wouldn't end up being like another point of renegotiation. We would have like advanced issue. I'd also like to know what the timeline is, what they kind of work out in terms of once they're hired, how long from point A to point B to point C to point D. And I guess I know that's all unperfect, if everything goes as planned. So, and I didn't know if they assist at all with the interviews or that's, they just give us a list of questions. And also, do they give any guidance on establishing a subcommittee? So those are my points of
Very
concern.
good points.
Trust me, I played with this whole thing for a while on a lot of ferry, and I ended up assuming a lot of it. I won't say who we got.
So are we looking to go back to Mass Narrow for clarification on those points?
I think we should. I think we need to be as clear as we can with this whole thing so there aren't issues going forward. And I do like the fact that, there's multiple people at Mass Narrow that will help run this and it isn't working solely on one person's availability and capability. So,
On the, excuse me, on the Mass Narrow, when I went on, trying to follow up, there was a lot of, where they had worked with a lot of the different housing authorities, and they had a track record with, you know, where we can, do we have that with Pat? As far as where we can call references or see, you know,
I just know personally of 2 places that she's done
two
searches for.
places, because I, you know.
She didn't
that-
list them, I'm sure if we asked.
I just
she'd give us-
noted 6 of them for Narrow, so there were 24 and 25, so I don't know if she done any of these in the last 2 years.
She just completed one at the Braintree Housing Authority.
But we're not sure these are apples for apples.
They're not really apples for apples, if you look at it, it's,
Yeah.
there's definitely things.
I
that are-
checked off a couple of spots and looked different. Yep, the only other thing was wondering, should we establish a timeline or?
I think it needs
versus-
to almost be a, what do they say is the timeline, and then we need to say, well, this is what we also want to see as a timeline.
Yeah.
I think there has to be a meeting of the minds.
Yeah, I think we need a timeline. It's got to be done, you know.
I agree.
Sit on it.
We have a date, so they can work back from that, right?
Yes. Do you know if Narrow is going to come in to a meeting and
I don't know that.
answer those? I mean, that's something they could reach out to them and ask.
I would recommend a subcommittee, do a little bit, ask those questions directly of Mass Narrow. And therefore, and then we plan on a recommendation at the next meeting. Or if we need to do a special meeting, we can do a, quick in-person or even Zoom meeting if we had to.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good idea. So I will make a motion that we are likely gonna look to work with Mass Narrow pending further clarification on some items.
And Dawn, if you'd like to, I'd be willing to sit on a committee with you, and I believe it would be one conference.
Yeah, I would think that would be.
I mean, it might maybe an email to them saying that these are our concerns, one conference call. You
Yeah.
think?
Should be enough.
I would think if you form a subcommittee, say that now and to present it, and then the next meeting should be
Early in January.
early January.
Yeah. Well, one of the things, I think, one of the questions we should ask is, what do you, with this date known, what do you see as a timeline? And if they say, well, you should start on January 1st, then
You should start yesterday.
yesterday, then that's an issue that we'll bring back to the board.
Okay. And your May 29th?
9th would be the, so Chris, do you want to email Mass Narrow, or would you prefer that I do it from the Housing Authority?
I think initially we should not involve you a ton with this, because
Okay.
I think you got enough to do. And this is not technically one of your responsibilities.
Have we heard anything negative on either one of these?
Yeah.
There's a lot of positives. Have we heard any negative?
I've heard a couple negatives on Attorney Grace. I don't know if it was one of her first executive director searches, but it was the town of Middleborough. Strongly recommended that they hire a candidate, almost, I don't want to say a force of hand, but there was pressure on the board to choose a certain candidate for a particular reason. It wasn't really probably the best candidate that was on the search. And that candidate was hired and lasted less than a year. Yeah. Less than a year, and that person had to move along, and then they had to start it all over again. And then the most recent one, I guess, went okay, but there was a couple issues. I think she was away for a portion of time where things kind of went into a standstill, and then there was some things that she thought the authority should be doing, and the authority was like, that's what we're paying you for. So those are my recollections of conversations I've had with both authorities, or not directly, but by one authority, by word of, yeah.
So her strength would probably be the legal part of her strength, this is,
She's a fabulous lawyer.
Yes.
Worked a lot with her when I was in the business. Executive director searches are her newer thing since retiring as a housing authority attorney, regional attorney. I'm not saying she is bad at it, but I'm just not necessarily saying she's good at it either.
so like, if I heard Tom, it was narrow, we're kind of leaning in that direction, but we got the bottom line, is that what I'm?
Chris had a whole series of questions which were very good, and from what I heard, Chris, you went through this in Fairhaven, had to do a lot of this yourself, and so she saw a lot of the pitfalls going along that really haven't been answered in Mass Narrows.
We had some questions about that.
That there's just deep clarifications, and if the clarifications are good, if they answer the questions to, yes, this is what we'll do, this is how we do it, then yes, we would probably go that way. If they came back and said, what are you talking about? We don't, making stuff up now, but then there'd be further discussions. But I hadn't thought about 3 or 4 of the questions that you went through because I hadn't done it before.
I technically wasn't doing it, but I was doing it.
Yeah. Someone else's name was in getting on it and getting paid for it.
Mm-hmm. And I was trying to protect the authority, and I was trying to, do what I thought needed to be correctly done. So, yeah. And we did reopen a search. We did a second search. So I remember the whole thing like it was yesterday.
Did you use an agency?
Oh, yeah, I guess you could call an agency. It's it's another one-man show type of thing.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
One-person show. Sorry, I think.
Now, do we ask that there be a certain number of candidates, or how does that work?
It all depends how many people apply.
I guess then on that we would say,
Candidates for the search? Or candidates for the position?
No, they're going to present us with a certain number of candidates.
Oh, you mean qualified candidates?
Yeah.
You're talking, okay, when they
Yeah.
review the applications, you're talking to people they believe are qualified to present to the board?
I think that's one of the questions that we'll ask them. So let's say they came up with, they said, here's 2 qualified people. We fell in love with one of them, thought they were the best thing. Well, we're done. If we said no, then neither one of these meets our criteria, continue with the search.
Right.
I wouldn't imagine we would want to continue to wait, because once a person says, yes, I'm interested, there's only a certain amount of shelf life for that, because they might be applying in other places.
Might be offered something else somewhere else.
They might, exactly.
So it does say that, candidates that they find are qualified they would give us a spreadsheet of the qualified candidates, and then we go through and I guess decide if we're going to interview them all, if we're going to interview a certain number, or the top 3, or, if we eliminate anybody or if we add somebody in. That's the thing I always like to do. I know that they're going to go through it all, but I actually do like to look, if possible, at all the candidates.
Well, I would imagine,
And you might also, I know you mentioned this before about management agreements. Is that something you want to entertain or not entertain?
Yeah, we have to discuss about that as well. Do we, I know you ran into that issue.
Yeah, I think it has to be in the end, so
Right.
that we don't restrict ourselves, that if, an agreement came along that we were interested in, if we don't advertise it, we're gonna start
Yeah,
all
right.
over. That happened either.
yeah. Can we say, well, then again, we can discuss the preferred executive director will consider a management agreement?
I've seen that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought I saw that also.
So we're looking to form it has to be a two-person subcommittee, 3 is a quorum, and my understanding is Commissioner Tebow and Commissioner Sheedy would make a conference call. If that's agreeable, Don, is that
Yeah,
agreeable?
that's fine, yeah.
Is this the subcommittee for all going forward, or is this just to determine?
Oh, no,
On the
that's just
search.
this.
Okay, okay.
You guys
I
can-
just want to make sure.
You got out of that quick.
It's, in the end, it's the most important thing we do as a board. It's if we do everything else poorly in this well, then you'll do well. If you do everything else well and hire the wrong person,
There'll be hell to pay.
So did you make that motion, would you say, for this subcommittee to call narrow?
I make a motion for the subcommittee, a two-person subcommittee of Commissioner Chris Sheedy and Commissioner Tebow.
So,
Thank you, Jim. Perfect.
So, any further questions, comments, discussion?
well, the subcommittee moving on, that you said it has to be 3?
No,
No,
it needs
no.
to be 2.
No, if it's 3, it's a quorum, then we gotta post it as a meeting, so.
Oh,
So if you keep it at 2, it's a subcommittee that can work and report back to the board. They're not gonna make decisions, they'll make recommendations.
you use subcommittees usually to get stuff done in between board meetings. So some work can be done, and then they report back out for public.
my concern is we just gotta keep moving quickly, subcommittees, if they start falling down, I'm sure you won't, but.
No, but so let's say you had a question reading on that, let either Chris or I know you have a question or concern. Again, we won't discuss it, it'll be
But the sooner it
discussed in
gets done,
public at the meeting.
it's to our advantage,
Yeah,
we don't wanna be in April.
no.
And if you do,
We'll just handcuff Kathy to her desk. It's happened before, Kathy. I've seen executive directors try to get out and not be able to get out.
I ended up staying, I gave a 6-month notice, and I stayed an extra month beyond.
Oh, it was only 1 month back beyond? I thought it was further.
No, and I was looking, I was gonna stick around to do some other stuff, but that got axed,
Yeah,
but
okay.
whatever. But yeah, no, I didn't end up leaving until January 31st.
Yeah, okay.
Well, the good news is that, you don't submit your retirement papers till a month before, I think. So if there's any issues,
Yeah.
don't worry.
We'll work with you. I thought you were going somewhere though. I heard you had a trip
Well,
planned.
yeah, but I'm going away for a week.
Oh,
Got to
okay.
you could put that off too.
I could move it. It could be moved.
And it'll cost you.
So motion was made?
Motion was made,
Yep.
and seconded,
That's
so any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That is unanimous. And I do remind you, if you're gonna reach out to the subcommittee, please don't include everybody in the email. Reach out individually to one member or the other. Otherwise, we'll be in violation of the open meeting law.
So if you have questions, either one of them.
You can call us too, you don't
Yeah.
have to email.
Sometimes that's easier.
I can give you a phone number if you want it.
All right. You said to move on, I lost my agenda here.
Director's reports.
Moving on to agenda item, the director's report. 7. like to hear about the Christmas party myself. It sounded like it was
It
a
was
great time.
fabulous. It was beyond fabulous.
'Cause-
I can't say enough about Charity Guild, Beanery, Vertec Corporation. They supplied meals for people to take home. They provided hot food. They served everybody. The gifts were amazing. Vertec went around with a big basket of money, and everybody got to pull money out of a hat.
Get out of here.
I kid you not, 20s and hundreds. And they all had raffles from myself and Carolyn Brown, the service coordinator, going around town. We had tons of raffles. My friend Ray Vargas came in again, played Santa, pulled all the raffles, handed them out. I think Commissioner Burrows could elaborate.
Yeah, that was a great day. It was good. And no complaints whatsoever. It's the best we've had here.
Yeah.
Couldn't
How many
take
people
over.
came?
Oh.
A rough
60
guess?
maybe?
What's that?
How many people do you think? About 60?
Oh, yeah, this room.
It was packed.
Both rooms were full.
Yeah, we had tables out there.
Both
It was,
rooms were full.
yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. People in this town, the businesses were extremely generous.
Yeah. I think everyone went away happy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's awesome. And if I may, Mayor, if I'd like to just take a minute and read off the companies that donated to it, the food and gifts in one way or another to make Christmas a little brighter for the seniors of the Easton Housing Authority. So this may not be inclusive. We already know of Vertec and the Beanery, the Charity Guild of Brockton. Other donations, Giorgio's Hair Salon, Pop's Fine Wines, Buddy's Union Villa, the Peach Convenience Store, Boston Tavern, D'Angelo, El Mariachi, Stoneforge Grill, Doyle's Pub and Grill, Back Bay Bagel, McGuire's Bar and Grill, Shaw's Market, the Big Y Market, Ultimate Pizza, Takeouts Pizza, Barrett's, Starbucks, the 99 Restaurant, Hilliard's, Panera Bread, The Farmer's Daughter, Sweet Treats in Easton Center, Easton Garden Club, and the EHA staff contributed a gift basket. I'd like to thank all of you. It's greatly appreciated on behalf of the board, on behalf of the authority, and the residents of the Easton Housing Authority.
Really amazing participation, really
It
amazing.
really was.
And to Santa. Don't let me forget
Yep,
Ray
Santa,
Vargas,
Ray
Santa
Vargas,
Claus.
every year he's done that.
Sorry
for us.
about that.
Yep.
And to the staff for doing everything you did.
Staff, everybody chipped in, and we got a big basket of scratch tickets, and somebody won on that as well. We're happy to.
Oh, they won, that's always
Yeah.
great.
Yes, it was.
Oh, that's always great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you get their name, put the rent down?
No, we told her not to.
That's wonderful, that's wonderful.
Yeah, no, it was a good time. It really was. It was a lot of fun. Everybody was happy.
And so they got dinner when they were here, and then they got a meal to take home with
A
them.
catered meal.
A
from
catered meal.
Caterer in Newton. Turkey dinner to take home. And then the Vertec, they brought up their truck and all their staff, so with the giving tree that they did at the Beanery, there were some big gifts, and all the guys would bring stuff to the residence units for them, and it's just amazing. People in town who donated to the giving tree too were very generous. People got mix masters, like KitchenAid mix masters, new bedding,
Yeah.
just amazing, the gifts they got.
You sent me some pictures, and they were, it just looked like it was a great day.
It was fun. It definitely was.
And I could say that Vertec and the Beanery, this isn't the only authority that they do this for, because they've done it in Brockton the past 3 years. And it's amazing how much they do
And they come in and they're happy.
and the work that they do to put it out.
They're happy to be here,
Yeah.
those agencies. Pleasant thrill.
The Beanery, I've made donations over there. When you go over to make the donation, they stop everything. They're so happy to see you. They have us, so they're turning out coffee and food and whatever. That's what their job is, but they are, it's almost, they're thrilled
They're
to stop
pleasant,
doing
right.
that and give. So it really is a testament to them. And then again, to see this list of people that said yes, 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 yes. It's wonderful.
Absolutely.
So did the RSC go out and get most of these?
Her and I.
Yeah.
And Val Winters got some. Yeah.
Because
A
I
couple
did,
of friends of mine at the gym who know people got some.
I did hockey boosters for years, I did soccer boosters for years, I did the safe grad night. It is not easy.
You have to go multiple times,
Yeah,
knocking on the
it's a
doors.
lot of
Yeah.
calls, it's a lot of legwork.
Yeah.
We did salt grad, safe grad night. It was, you know, some people said yes, and then when you showed up, what are you talking about?
Well, they saw you coming back and they ran out back and hid.
Yes. Not easy.
Wonderful.
That's excellent. Gives the true meaning of the Christmas spirit.
It really
that's for
does.
sure. Or the
Exactly.
holiday spirit.
Yeah.
Any other questions or concerns regarding the executive director's report?
Yeah, Kathy, the 102 Elise,
Mm-hmm.
and down the bottom, it says it's leased up, and then it's not leased up, and am I misreading something?
Oh,
or-
yep, you are. That should be 101, not 102 at the top.
Okay.
Yes. So we just found out today 101 wants to stay where they are. So
Are they in another
just-
authority?
Yes,
Okay,
in a congregate facility.
okay.
So we just pulled a list today on that because we just got the occupancy on it.
That was a surprise, huh?
Mhm. We're waiting on the building inspector. People were hearing the unit was ready, but we didn't have occupancy from the building inspector until he said it was ready. So,
So
I
we're
wanna
not
say-
liable for the rent now for that.
we've been paying her, so she's been paying us rent,
Yeah,
and then we paid the rent to the other housing authority.
okay.
So that was already done for December, so this will probably be effective for January 1.
Okay.
Because we still have to work out all the paperwork and sign a lease with the new residents. Technically, it's still our resident
Okay.
until that's done.
I just love the property insurance company, which is one.
He was the one that, I said, is there any way to recover rents? Because technically, we have 2 extra vacant units, really, and people paying. And that was his, I had to print rent rolls for each and every month, cut everybody's names out of them, print the leases, redact the residents' names, and after submitting all the paperwork, that was the response.
No, the employees for those companies aren't there to hand out checks.
No.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you just say, that's not something we're gonna do,
Yeah.
instead of going through the whole process of, there's a lot of scanning and printing and, yeah, so,
Ask
But I
if you
did
can,
try to
ask
recoup
it if
the
you can
cost.
appeal the decision.
I don't wanna talk to them
I
anymore.
I get that, I totally get it, but it's almost
They're
sometimes
not
you
the
gotta
most
be like,
pleasant
you have to be
people.
like, really? I'm coming
Mhm.
after this.
I just wanted you to know that it did the work, that I felt like we could have recouped some money for the deductible end of it, and, well, we can't. Well,
I'll make a motion to put the accept and put the executive director's report on file.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tebow, second by Commissioner Burrows. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, that's unanimous. And agenda item number 8, public comments. Folks?
I really enjoyed the Christmas party. That was unbelievable. Oh, it was awesome.
That's
I
so
don't
good
have
to
any
hear.
complaints.
That's what it's all about, to see the smile on your face, a week, 10 days later, or it's, that you still enjoyed it. That's, kudos to the Beanery and Vertec and all involved to make it happen.
Yeah, fantastic.
I have a complaint. I thought we were going to meet with Mr. Paquin in his locale.
I tried to book us all flights, but Dawn was busy that day.
I bet you he's a little warmer right now than we are, that's for sure. So. All right, next meeting, I believe I just looked, was the 13th. Just check that again. January 13th would be the second Tuesday. Any conflicts for anybody? When's Martin Luther? 19th?
19.
Yeah.
Hearing none, next meeting will be January 13th, 2026. Another year.
I have another complaint now.
About 2026?
No, what happened in 25?
No.
Same thing that will happen to 26.
Yeah.
You rest assured.
Keeps going faster the older I get, though. I don't think I like
No,
it.
not at all.
With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Christian Sheedy, a second by Commissioner Burrows. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And with that, I'd